What's going on, everyone? I'm Alex Wober, and welcome back to Smash Factor. We've got a loaded one today. 5 league events, bombs being dropped coast to coast, a junior hitting 300 plus like it's nothing, and one drive at the end of the show that closed out the entire month of March with an exclamation point. We'll get to all of it, but first, quick shout out to our sponsors for keeping this thing rolling and helping grow the sport of long drive. We appreciate you. We love you. Now let's get into it. We start out west, heading over to the state of California, where the SoCal League held their third event at Morongo Golf Club in Beaumont. And right out of the gate, Ryan Pilato in the U17 boys laid down a 314-yard drive to take the win. Just a casual 300 plus for a junior. No big deal, totally normal. We'll just check back on him in about 3 years when he'll be winning Opens. James Ray picked up the Valor division with a 321-yard drive, and if that name sounds familiar by the end of the segment, it's not an accident. Geoff Pearson, who you may remember from the last episode in Spanish Fork, decided one division wasn't going to cut it again. He doubled up in the men's 75 and men's 70 amateur with drives of 266 and 267 yards. Consistent, efficient. Pearson's just out here collecting hardware. Then Captain Crush himself, Lynn Ray, stepped up in the men's 60 amateur and posted 315 yards. Like any good sequel, though, he wasn't done. Mark Stone King added another win to the resume with a 338-yarder in the men's 50 amateur, while Marshall Buckler dropped the longest ball on the amateur side at 343 yards to take the men's 40 amateur, and that one had some legs on it. Michelle Lau handled business in the open women's amateur with 289 yards, a nice clean win. And then, there he is, James Ray, shows back up in the open men's amateur and grabs his second win of the day at 331 yards. 2 divisions, 1 weekend, 0 fuss. Efficient is the word. Now let's go over to the pros. Lynn Ray made good on that sequel energy, coming back to take the men's 60 pro with a 328-yard drive. 2 divisions for Captain Crush as well. And Harrison Pearson capped off SoCal with a win in the open men's pro at 336 yards. Strong close for the West Coast. Switching coasts, we head over to Pennsylvania, where the Western Pennsylvania League set up shop at 5 Iron Golf in Pittsburgh. Shy Moore came out firing in the open women's amateur with 298 yards to grab the win right out of the gate. Steve Bressler opened the men's side with a 344-yard drive in the open men's amateur, and Michael Sellender locked in the men's 55 pro with a 248-yard drive to close out the event. Now we head over to Virginia, the Mid-Atlantic League at spot 29 in Warrington, and this event had some range. Addison Garvey opened it up with a win in the U7 girls at 77 yards, and the youngins were cooking on the grid. Jake Porter followed with 156 yards in the U11 boys, while Gracelyn Gray came through with 255 yards to win the U15 girls. And then Tyler Garvey stepped into the U15 boys division and posted 318 yards. 318 yards. That's not a typo. That's a problem for everyone he's going to be competing against for the next decade. On the adult amateur side, Michael O'Reilly doubled up in the men's 55 and men's 50 amateur, going 294 and a big jump to 320 yards. Back-to-back divisions, back-to-back wins. Kevin El Presidente Porter logged 324 yards to take the men's 45 amateur. J.R. Ambrose fired a 350-yard missile in the men's 35 amateur, while Jesse Gray took the women's 35 amateur at 225 yards. And Anthony Davidson closed out the amateur side with a 380-yard drive in the open men's amateur. Christy Yost picked up the Valor women's win at 145 yards, and then Corey Garvey, apparently the Garvey family came to work today, stepped up in the open men's pro and said, I'm going to wrap this up, putting a 402-yard drive right in the middle of the grid, longest ball of the event, and a clean pro win. The Garveys had quite a Sunday. U7, U15, and Open Men's Pro. That's a family. Heading south down to South Carolina, where the Western Carolinas League rolled through their 4th event at Partee Golf Center in West Columbia, Thomas Utley got things started with 258 yards in the U13 boys, while Isabel Hoffmeister followed with a 219-yard drive in the U15 girls. Henry O'Grady secured the Open Adaptive Division with a nice drive of 214 yards, while Tom Tucker grabbed the men's 70 amateur with 299 yards, 1 yard short of 300, which means he's coming back for more. Richard Hunt matched that number exactly, 299 yards in the men's 55 amateur. Two guys, same yardage, different divisions. The grid can be funny like that sometimes. Mark Swinford took the men's 45 amateur with 338 yards, while Tatiana Thurston brought home the women's 45 amateur with 230 yards. Hank Hulk Parks, and yes, that nickname is absolutely doing work,
I see this as an absolute win.
smashed 361 yards to win the men's 40 amateur. And Andrew McCartney, whose name you've heard a few times this season, closed out South Carolina with a 354-yard win in the Open Men's Amateur. Now we head over to Michigan. Tap-ins in Howell, kicking off their first event of the season. Marty Chappell came out and doubled up right away, winning the men's 60 and men's 55 amateur with drives of 279 and 277 yards. Season opener, straight to the double. That's how you make an entrance. And Corey Moats secured the Open Men's Amateur with 359 yards, a strong start for the Michigan League. And finally, we close out the weekend in New Hampshire, where the New England League held their event at Dick's House of Sports in Salem. Colin Wheeler opened with a 383-yard drive to win the Valor Division. That's a heck of an opening act. Bill Bentley doubled up 349 yards in the men's 55 amateur and 364 yards in the men's 55 pro. Two divisions, two wins. Bentley came prepared. Trevor Langill picked up the Open Men's Amateur with 338 yards, and then saving the best for last, Nolan Locke closed out the weekend with a 413-yard drive to win the Open Men's Pro. 413. That's the longest drive of the entire month of March, and Locke didn't just win his division, he put a bow on the whole month. Looking ahead, no events this weekend with Easter Sunday, so rest up, eat well, and get ready, because we're right back at it the following weekend. On April 11th, the Central Texas League at R2M Golf Academy in San Antonio will be at 10 a.m. Central Time. Coastal Carolinas League at Squires Turf Farm in Ainer, South Carolina will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And on April 12th, the Minnesota-Iowa League at Mulligan's Indoor Golf Center in Plymouth will be at 6 p.m. Central Time. Also worth noting, on the international front, Canada is hosting a Straight to Worlds qualifier in Burlington, Ontario at Faraway Greens Indoor Golf on April 11th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Double points, a cash shootout, and a USA versus Canada team friendly. Yeah, that one's got some juice, so keep an eye on it, okay? And mark your calendars. The East Coast Classic in Lovingston, Virginia is locked in for June 13th. That's a North American Tour stop you do not want to miss. And for the full schedule, results, and everything else, head to ultimatelongdrive.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube. Quick reminder, if you are serious about your game, the Spike at 3 by GolfJoy is the launch monitor you want. ULD members get 15% off by heading to the membership tab on ultimatelongdrive.com. And while you're there, check out the rest of the member discounts, savings stacked on savings. Your swing and your wallet will both be better for it. One more thing, the XLD draft is back. Teams are in, the draft pool is open. If you want a shot at competing in this year's XLD Team Series, head to ultimatelongdrive.com, find the draft application on the homepage, and put your name in. Simple as that. You can't get drafted if you don't apply, but more information on the draft date will be announced shortly, so stay tuned. That's going to do it for episode 10 of Smash Factor. 5 events, bombs from California to New Hampshire, a 15-year-old posting a 318-yard drive, a family dominating 3 divisions in Virginia, and Nolan Locke closing out March with a 413-yard exclamation point. The 2026 season is not playing around. I'm Alex Wober. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the sport. Keep smashing, and we'll see you next week.